Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
The world has been united by the unseen. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Show. Find your own voice. Lead from within. Over to you, Nadia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia Dubiel. I am body intelligence coach, and I have my own Superhuman Academy where I teach people basically how to become ourselves, because we live in a world of conditioning and too many systems, too many information, and people kind of lost touch within themselves. And people don't realize that we're incredibly creative and powerful beings. So I help people to reconnect with our creative, intuitive mind and create a life from our hearts, not from our heads and what society tells us. And yeah, how about you, Amanda?
Hi, I'm coming from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, so it's bright and early here. I am a teacher, an author, and an illustrator, and I help people find their own unique creative capacities within themselves through mindfulness and art and connecting to who they really are.
Thank you so much, Amanda. So our topic today is how yoga can save your life. Nadia, you chose this topic. Please, could you explain to our audience about this topic?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So I chose this topic because I've been obsessed with yoga about 8 years ago, and because it literally saved my life. When I learned about yoga, when I started to get into self-development, I come across Kundalini teachings and ancient wisdom, like a Hindu wisdom, and that's when I learned about yoga and started researching it and I started practicing it. And even though it was incredibly hard and difficult at the beginning, because my body was in a really bad state, I was ill all the time. I was physically incapable. Basically, I was in a horrible place, physically and mentally. And then I started to do yoga, and I will never forget that. Like first 3 months were a torture. It was so difficult. But for some reason, I felt like I have to do it. So I kind of find discipline to do it every single day. And after 3 months, I started to see the results. My life started changing. My body started changing. I started to be more relaxed, more peaceful, and more confident. My posture started changing, and my body stopped aching. And that's when I realized that yoga is incredibly powerful tool that everyone can use to change their life, because it's not only physical exercise. It's so much more than that. And unfortunately, modern world made just kind of a type of an exercise to allure people in, and it just made it so fashionable, and it just completely lost the true meaning of yoga. Because what yoga means in Sanskrit, it means unity. So it's unity not only with our physical body, but also within our body, emotions, spirit. It's everything. And I hope we're going to talk more about this, because yoga is incredibly powerful, ancient technique that can really teach you how to be yourself and how to heal yourself, not only on physical level, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So yeah, I'm curious, Amanda, about you. How you are you into yoga? What?
I
what is
actually
the
asked
connection?
because I normally only come on Tuesdays, but this is a topic that is so important to my heart because I've actually written 3 children's books that have yoga in them as well. And so one of them's called I Am Fearless. What is it called? I'm going find it. I Am Fearless, a yoga story for kids and superheroes. And then I have a yoga journey through India and a yoga journey through Peru. Those are the 3 yoga books that I've written. 2 of them were basically for the grade 3 curriculum because in Alberta, I wanted the kids to be able to learn about the countries that we had to study, but also like as an introduction and to get them up and excited and moving. And also I had like guided visualizations at the end because of the meditation piece of yoga, which is so important. And I've also have because it's one of my big passions, I'm a yoga instructor for kids as well. I wanted to get certified in that so that I could teach it properly in my classroom. And I use it in my classroom all the time. Not necessarily every day, but I definitely use it consistently throughout the year. And it helps the kids with bringing themselves back to center when they're sky high and silly and energetic and just being over the top. It is something that will just like bring them back to center and help calm them down. They even know, like, we learn breathing techniques, we learn different ways to calm our minds and to connect with who we are. The I Am Fearless book has different yoga poses. I actually co-authored it with one of my favorite yoga instructors, and she was so good about connecting each pose to an I am statement. And so through the yoga is not just about the body movements. The asanas are only one piece of what yoga is. And when I first started practicing yoga, it was when I first started teaching like 15 years ago. And I started like a few times before that, but I didn't start going consistently until I started teaching. And when I was a first year teacher, I would like barely be able to make it through the week. And I'd feel like, oh my God, I can't do this job. This is like, I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm functioning. And then I had this yoga class that I would go to every Thursday at the YMCA. And every Thursday I would be like, go to my yoga class no matter how tired I was. And the next day I would be like, oh no, I can do this job still. I can make it through Friday and make it through next week. And then by Thursday I would feel the exact same way and I'd be like, oh, this is the worst. And then I'd go to my yoga class and I'd be like, no, everything's okay. We can get through this. And then 2, everything's been closed in Canada for a really long time. We've been like open and then shut and then open and then shut. And I've been finding my mental health has been really, really suffering because my yoga studio is not open and I can't go and have that outlet. And so just this weekend, things opened up again and I was able to go to a yoga class, and I can't even tell you how much that has helped my mental health just in the last 3 days by being able to I only was able to go on Sunday, and I can still feel the effects of it on my like emotional and spiritual health, just from being in one class. And so I know for me, when I went through my divorce, yoga saved my life as well, just like you were saying. I would go to yoga like 3 to 5 times a week, just based on when I had my daughter. And there were times where I would go to 2 classes a day. I would go to a like flow class and then I'd go to a restorative class, and it just helped me focus and meditate and connect with who I was and really have a more positive outlook on life. So yeah, I've been practicing yoga for about 15 years and have written 3 children's books that involve yoga, and I implement it into my classroom every single day. So I think that this is something that so many more people, if they embraced it, would recognize that it's not just for your physical health, it's for your spiritual and emotional health as well. And it can affect every aspect of your life.
Dear, are you muted?
No, am I?
Yeah, you should be muted because we can hear the feedback.
Oh, sorry. I'm muting myself now. Oh gosh.
Awesome. Are you finished, Amanda? Okay, thank you so much. I'm not into yoga. I don't do yoga. I just do it with a partner when we're doing live. But I did some research about yoga, and I've got friends that do yoga. Basically, um, the good thing about it is the flexibility, Nadia, is it? And Amanda. So basically, when you're doing it, you become flexible, and it helps you with it. How does it help you with your blood pressure? I need to know this because when I did some research, it says it does help you with your blood pressure. So you guys
Yeah, so
are into it, and I like to know because it's not the same when you're actually doing some research and with people that have actually done it practically.
yeah, of course. So I can easily tell, it's my own testimonial basically from doing yoga is that it's not only gonna heal you on physical level, but it's a very deep therapy. It's so therapeutic, especially if you start doing it properly. So the more you do it, the more you kind of connect with yourself, the more. So actually, I had very high blood pressure. I had heart palpitations before, and I had a lot of problems with my heart. And when I started to do yoga, what it does is basically it's when you firstly you just have to learn how to switch off, because there is no point of doing yoga if you or like any exercise, I would say, when you're not really present with what you're doing, because that's when all the magic happens. So a lot of people are focusing on the pain, or it's difficult in the head. Basically, they make up, and they at the end they don't really enjoy it. But when you start doing yoga truly and appreciating it, and you understand what it truly is, your life will change, as Amanda said, after even one session. Because what happens is you really become quiet and calm. You're learning how to switch off your mind. And also, when you put yourself, because the positions are very stressful, physically and mentally, because when you hold a position, asana, for a longer time, basically your body wants to get out of it. Your mind is starting to make up things. Oh, it's hurting. A lot of emotions are coming up as well because you release. So there's a lot of fear sometimes, anger, frustration. So it releases a lot of energy in your body. And the whole point is just in that moment, just to breathe and stay present. And in that way, you learn, you teach your brain basically how to handle stress. Basically, you become more resilient, you become more mentally tough, because you're learning to decide for yourself, not your mind, basically how to manage stress better, because you intentionally kind of put yourself in a stressful position. It's only physical position, but it's more than that, because it releases trapped energy, trapped emotion in your body, in your bones, in your muscles, in your joints, in your ligaments, everything. Because when we stress out, when we're going through some traumatic experience, we tense up and we hold it, we suppress it. And when you do yoga, you open your body and you release that trapped energy, basically that you created in the past. And very often it brings up a lot of negative, uncomfortable feelings. And when you engage your breathing, and when you close your eyes, and when you connect with your body, and when you just trust yourself and find that inner strength to hold it, that's when transformation happens. And that's when you let go and you open your body, and basically just your skin changes, your bone changes. So I'm much taller than I used to be. They say that people shrink when they get older, but they only shrink, and kind of people get shorter because of the stress and lack of movement and not stretching and releasing. the energy from the body. So I can talk for hours, but it will cure you on any level. So Amanda, what's your take? Because
So
I never.
before you go to Amanda, if I stretch and then I become taller,
Eventually you will, yeah, of course, because
really?
stress, your body is shrinking. Of course, your posture will change. You will heal your you will heal your body on a skeletal level. In any misalignment, broken bones, anything like this can be healed, cured through yoga, but
Okay,
only if it's
Nadia,
done properly.
I'm gonna keep stretching.
But it's a ritual. I treat it as a ritual. It's not just as most of the people do 1 hour workouts or whatever. No, it's a sacred ritual for me when I do yoga, because it's really healing, and it's not only making my body flexible and strong, because it really is. I'm really strong, and I feel light. I feel amazing. I feel younger. That's amazing thing for women. A lot of women are insecure because of the age and aging and getting old. But yoga can really make you so much more attractive and beautiful. It's an incredible, amazing technique for healing, for self healing, for sure. So
I would agree with you that it is an amazing tool for self-healing, because I started going to yoga for the physical benefits of yoga, and very quickly it turned into the emotional and mental health benefits of yoga. And so and that's why I continued to go, because it helped me be able to manage my emotions, to stay calm, to release negativity in my body that I thought I didn't know that was even there. And even just this past week, when yoga studios opened again for me in Canada, that I went to a hips and hamstrings class, and I've been to yoga a few times and in the last 8 years, and after the class or during the class just felt this like whoosh of emotions come through me, and just like bawling in the middle of class. And I'm lucky I go to the hot yoga studios, because you can't tell if you're sweating or crying. But it is such an emotional release, and especially there is energy and stress stored in our hips, and that's where I store so much of my stress. And so being able to go to a class like that and then have that like emotional release is absolutely so healing for your body, and you don't even recognize that it's happening. And I think too, like yoga can be so powerful. I know people go to yoga retreats all the time too. I actually co-ran a yoga retreat a few years ago in Alberta, and we called it the Art of Yoga, and we did yoga and art, because my girlfriend, who I wrote the I Am Fearless book with, she ran the yoga part of it, because she's a certified yoga instructor. I just have certified for children. And then I ran the art and the Reiki side of it. And so and everyone who came to the retreat was like, this was absolutely just life-changing. And like yoga can be completely life-changing, because it allows you to connect with who you are as on a deeper level, and it'll allow you to have things come up that you didn't even know you had stored in your body. And that if you study the asanas, that the physical practice of yoga is only one piece of it. There's so many different pieces of it, the mental and the spiritual piece of it. I can't remember all of the asanas right now, but I know I've studied them. And there's different poses with your hands as well that you can do when you're meditating, and I'm forgetting what the name is right now, but different even hand postures in yoga can help with different things, and then also releasing different things. And then same with the different poses are specifically for releasing different things in your body. And so there is a whole spiritual side to yoga that it's becoming very trendy right now. And you can do yoga and not actually truly be doing yoga if you're just doing the physical aspects of it, because anybody who is a dancer or a gymnast or something can be very good at the yoga poses, but you're not actually doing yoga unless you're fully present. And learning how to be fully present is when you're truly doing yoga.
What is the spiritual part of yoga, and how do you actually become fully present? Do you have to actually practice it? Like in Nadia, you were talking about, you don't do it like for 1 hour, you treat it as ritual. So what time do you recommend that works for you?
Is it me or Amanda?
Nadia, I'm asking the time. What time? Because you said before some people do it for 1 hour, but you do it as a ritual. Like, what is the time that works for you? The time scale that works for you? How many minutes?
You can do it anytime. Like for me, yoga is part of my morning routine, and normally I haven't done it for a while, but I used to do it before bed. So I recommend twice a day. So that different types of yoga depending on the lifestyle, but for me the most important is in the morning. But what in the morning it's very important to remember that body is it's stiff, so it's not warmed up. So you have to like use different types of poses. So a lot of people go in the afternoon because body is more warmed up, ligaments and muscles, so it's easier to stretch, and it's easier to release. Definitely. So, and the hot yoga is really good for beginners as well, because when the temperature is higher, our muscles are more relaxed and more flexible. So it's much easier to stretch, and people tend to release more. Definitely. And in the evening as well as before sleep, it's so incredible. Like imagine you had this very stressful day, you're running around all day, stressing about projects, deliveries, whatever, deadlines, and your body, your mind, your body produce a lot of cortisol, and there is no way you're gonna fall asleep very quickly if the cortisol level is very high. And yoga is a great practice, basically just to calm down and basically release that level of cortisol in your body. But you mentioned about spirituality. I just want to add that yoga is about 20 years old, or even more, like yogic principles, what Amanda mentioned before. And yoga is not only physical, and if people only understood the true meaning of yoga and the true capabilities of yoga, they would treat it differently. The perception would change, and people would realize that this is very, very powerful way. You can still go to the same class, but if you have a bigger and deeper understanding what you're actually doing, it's not just about movement and breathing, but if you really engage your whole self and your wholeness, and you really stay present, you will realize that you are healing on much deeper level. So ancient yoga has it's Ashtanga. It was, as far as I know from my teachings, there was the most ancient yoga. Before that, it was Adi Yogi, which is Shiva, basically. So he was the initiator of yoga, and basically he created like seven limbs of yoga, 7 parts of yoga. So it was karma. It's about karma, taking action. It's about emotions, about mind, about presence. So there's a lot of parts to it. There's like a whole. And Ashtanga is teaching you. Ashtanga means 8 limbs. So it's teaching you 8 different levels, basically, that a person goes through. So it's body, it's mind, it's emotions, and on the highest level is enlightenment. Which is called samadhi, I think, in Sanskrit. So that is the highest. So that's the end result of any yoga practitioner, just to get to that state by practicing. So your body as asanas is only one limb of it, only one small tiny part of it. Then if you add inner work, discipline, following certain rules, it's the whole lifestyle, basically, and breathing that goes into it as well. It's not just doing the poses. It just, if you do the poses, it's just an exercise. That's all it is. So it's not really yoga. Yoga is when you really involve everything into it. If you follow certain lifestyle, if you follow discipline, if you look after yourself, if you go following your heart. Meditation is part of yoga as well. Mindfulness is part of yoga as well. It's practicing all of these things to be present, to not to have any thoughts, to be healthy, to be good as well. So there is a lot of things when it comes to yoga. And when you start doing these things, that's when the transformation happens, not only physical one. I don't know what kind of teachings did you do, Amanda? Are you into any specific type of yoga, or you I don't know what is the difference between, also I'm very curious, the difference between yoga for children and for adults.
Yoga for children is there. We learned the same principles, like that the asanas was only one small piece of yoga, but when you're learning it for children, it's basically about teaching it through story and teaching them also about the principles of yoga, but on a more kid-friendly level. And so a lot of my teaching was about like learning about self first, and it wasn't really about learning how to do the poses or anything like that. It was about learning how the history of yoga, and then also how the asanas are just one small piece. And so that exactly what you're saying, it's a lifestyle. I'm laughing as Nomza has her yoga mat. I have a yoga mat always set up in my like bonus nook, and I have my blocks set up and everything, and so my yoga mat is always out. And I have 2 yoga mats, and so they're always one on each floor. I should get a 3rd one for the basement. But yoga can help so many different pieces of your life. I know people start it because of the physical benefits most of the time, but the part about getting out of your head is part of yoga. And I know I know that for me, going to hot yoga is the one that helps me get out of my head the most, because it's so hot in there, and all you can do is focus on the pose and focus on the pose and focus on the pose, and not to try to not to pass out because that's all you can think about. And I was saying to my friend last night, because her husband was talking about hot yoga, and he's like, I almost died in there the first time I went. And I was like, me too. I almost died the first time I went to hot yoga. But our yoga studio would give you this like cool lemongrass towel afterwards. And the first time I was like, got it. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Like, this is the best thing ever. And then the second time I went to the class, the whole class, I was just like, where is that towel? I need that cool lemongrass towel. Is this over yet? But that's all I could think about. So any other stresses of my life were just gone, because all I could think about was just like being in my body and being present and doing the poses and getting that lemongrass towel at the end. That's all that mattered, because it was just so hot in there. So I find if you can handle hot yoga, or if you're willing to try it, that one has been the best for getting me out of my mind and into my body and being fully present. I love your yoga poses, Nadia.
I'm just following the guy on YouTube, guys. You can keep talking. I'll just keep demonstrating.
Maybe what we can do is maybe we can finish the show by like a little yoga practice.
Yes, I think we actually should have done yoga, the real yoga, not talking actually. Come on, let's do it, girls.
Yeah, I can definitely
yes now
yoga out my mat. Oh, Oh gosh. I think I lost you for a minute. Oh gosh. All right.
What is he doing with his eyes? I'm not. What is the eyes?
The eye?
Yeah, he's doing something with the eyes.
I don't think he's doing yoga. Who is that person? Oh, I have a little kitty. How cool.
Amanda, can I see your dress? Have you got a teacher that fancies you? You've been wearing sexy clothes for the past few weeks.
Oh, I always dress like this.
I'm just winding you up.
But this is where I practice yoga, is upstairs in my yoga studio. I also have like yoga art on the.
Okay, what are we doing now, girls?
Art on the
How
wall.
would you like to lead it? How would you like to start?
I don't know. You take the lead. Tell us what to do.
Amanda, would you like to start or shall I start?
You can start.
Okay. So, how I always start my yoga class is definitely I always sit on my, like I'm stretching from my feet. So I sit on my feet.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay.
And just put hands on my heart. Close your eyes. 1 second. Let me just cross the hands on your heart. Close your eyes. And just breathe and relax. So it's important to really become present and let go of everything before yoga or anything you do. So just let go of all the stresses, worries, problems. Nothing matters. It's just you and your yoga mat. That's it. And when you feel that you're present, you can just start from a baby pose. It's a really good pose to start. So you can either do open your legs and kind of go in between, or you can just put them together and just go down. And the most important thing when you do yoga is that you just pull the chest towards the floor and breathe. And it's important that nothing else matters. You just breathe and release the tension. And just hold this position for a few breaths. You can put your forehead on the mat. It's a great stretch for your hips and for your lower back. Just to mention, if you have any knees problem, that's not going to be the best position as well. Now, if we can go into all fours, and we're going to do like a stretching for the spine. When you inhale, just arch your belly and look up. And as you exhale, contract out. You exhale, you round your spine and you're looking in front. So you're kind of connecting with your spine. So just kind of imagine that you're connecting with your tailbone. And breathing is important. So as you inhale, you're arching your belly and looking up, dropping your shoulders. And as you exhale, you're rounding your spine. Your head looks towards the middle. And yeah, perfect. So now we can slowly go into triangle pose.
In my house, it's always cat yoga. because the cat does it with me the entire time.
He's loving it.
Every time I'd like be doing headstands or like inversion poses, and she's like right in there.
Oh, that's so cool. We were just doing cat cow. Right. I'm gonna do one more pose, and maybe then you can show another pose, Amanda. Oh, so this one is called triangle pose or downwards facing dog. So basically, you're on all fours, your hands and your knees. Tackle your toes like this, and then start lifting from your hips up. So basically, you start creating a triangle in your body. So you bend in your hips. So you just have to, like this, Namza. You have to create a triangle. Triangle pose like this. So you can see that my spine is straight. And my feet are on the floor, but you can bend your knees a little bit if you're starting. So basically you have to lift your hips higher, Namza. So go back into all fours like this. Tackle your toes. And start lifting just from your bum. And now you pull your chest towards the floor, but without lowering your bum. So you're creating triangle with your body.
Namza, you want your chest to come towards your legs. So you want to be like up and then bring it back towards your legs. Because you're kind of like this. You want it to be.
Yeah, you have to create a triangle. You have to bend in half. So if this is your bum, you have to be.
Your bum sticks up. Your bum needs to stick up.
That's it, yes.
Okay. My bum cannot stick up because I'm wearing jeans.
Oh no, you won't be. Yeah, it won't be possible to do it then. Because it's like a really amazing full body stretch.
Okay.
Downward facing dog. We can do. I can show another one. This one is very easy. You can do it. So if you go into your all fours again. So this one is upper chest stretch. So it's called happy pose. So no, just go back onto all fours. No, just go back to your knees. Like this. Like this.
Yeah.
And just go forward with your legs, with your hands, like that.
Okay.
Without moving your bum. Your bum is over the knee.
Your bum needs to stick up.
No, your bum stays over the knee in a straight line, 90 degrees.
Okay.
So pull your back, so create 90 degrees bend in your legs. No, yeah, like this, and just move your chest forward without moving your bum.
Okay. I feel you.
Your bum is too far. It needs to be over the knees. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you just try to touch the floor with your chest. So you're pulling chest towards the floor. You can rest your forehead on the mat. If you want to go deeper. So yeah, practical session. Amanda, would you like to show any poses?
I think that one thing that I know for kids that they love is to do partner poses. I'll just grab one of my books. So this was like the first version of my I Am Fearless book. I've redone the cover and the illustrations, but one of the most favorite things that kids love to do is partner poses. So partner poses are so fun for kids to do, and they are, whenever I do it in the classroom, they absolutely love where you can do like boat pose with a partner, or this one's called Lizard on a Rock. And when I used to take my daughter to family yoga, we always used to do some of these poses. And I know you can do them even with like your partner. So those are some of the fun like partner poses. I know in my other book I have a couple partner poses too. This one, there's like the double warrior one that kids just love, and the double chair. And they love, love, love to be able to do partner poses, double chair facing together, face to face chair, Utkatasana, and then partner open heart is what this one's called. So there's lots of different partner ones that I know kids just love to do, and it's so fun for them. And so, but also I think that's like the seated meditation part is so important too. And one of the things that I use in my practice is a block to sit on so that it adjusts the way that your hips are and that you're sitting up more straight. Sorry, my daughter's alarm's going off to go wake her up in the morning.
Very interesting. I'm watching this guy. He's doing this. Basically, he's doing yoga, but he's doing this. He's working on his tummy, but he's actually what is that called?
He's probably using some breathing technique, like maybe like a breath of fire or something like that.
Is it breathing techniques?
Yeah, looks like it from what you're describing. But I just want to say that I really love what you said, Amanda, because I'm trying to get my partner to do yoga, and he just doesn't like it. But partner yoga, that's something that we can do together, and it looks amazing, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely practice some of the poses you showed for children with my partner, which is amazing. Thank you for that idea.
You're muted. Unmute yourself, Amanda. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Can you
Sorry,
hear?
my daughter's alarm was going off to wake her up, and so I needed to turn it off. But the partner poses, I learned some of them at, I used to go to family yoga with my daughter all the time, and there's so many fun partner poses that you can find online, but I'll just show you, if I can, some of the partner poses that my daughter and I have done because they are so fun. That's probably my Instagram. But there are so many fun partner poses that you can do that, like, even, I don't know. I did this one with some girlfriends. We're doing some yoga together, when you can do different yoga things together, which is so fun to do with a group of friends. But here's the, oh, it's so pretty. All the partner poses with my mini.
Oh, awesome.
That looks amazing, Amanda.
Yeah, they're really fun to do. And it's so gets kids like up and engaged, and they love to do partner poses. Some of them I wouldn't try in the classroom, but there's definitely ones that you can try in the classroom with kids. But yeah, there's so many online that you can try with your partner.
So you want to get your partner to get into yoga, Nadia? Hello? Nadia, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just because I'm calling in from my phone, which is so limited on Restream. Yeah, I've been trying for months basically to get him into yoga. At the beginning, he was excited, but then because you really to do yoga, you really need have to have understanding what is it and why are you doing this, and he didn't really have motivation. I kind of tell him, oh, listen, yoga is really amazing, you can do it. It's gonna improve your health and body posture and overall health, mental health, stress level, blood pressure, everything. And it was just not enough because it is not easy, like basically when you do yoga, because it requires pain, concentration, time, some kind of effort. And for him it and I'm assuming for a lot of people maybe resign from it because they don't really see it as something that can really help and heal, not only on physical level. So maybe when we do partner yoga, so if you have a partner, I think that's a great way to start. If you do it together, it can be more fun. First
Why
thing.
don't you go to like classes with him? Like maybe.
I don't go to classes. I have my own way of doing yoga, and I've been to one or two classes, and I think it's difficult to find a great instructor of yoga, like especially if you know a lot, if you know the poses and the way things are done. Because what is very important to remember when you do yoga, there is a lot of energy, like from a spiritual perspective, being released, and you absorbing, opening yourself and absorbing the energy of other people. So I do actually have yoga transformation journey when I offer people classes, but they are maximum 3 people, where I can really, because everyone is on an individual journey when it comes to yoga. You can copy the instructor, you can listen to them, but everyone has different needs. Everyone kind of bodies is aligned. So sometimes if you don't do it properly, you can actually do more damage as well. If you have someone that can really help you with alignment, body alignment, you can progress so much quicker. You can release so much quicker without absorbing other people's energy and stuff. So, I'm very particular when it comes to yoga. I don't go to classes. And if I teach people, I just teach them in very small groups or one-to-one mainly, because I just treat it so seriously, because it is like a medicine, like a doctor prescribed set of pills for you, antibiotics. I treat yoga like that. Basically, it's a healing. It's a medicine, especially if you do it with someone and you understand their mind. So I kind of combine yogic movements with what they need basically on the journey to heal, not to release trauma from the body. Like a lot of people go through a lot of traumatic experiences and they hold on into it. They have some body misalignment, and you won't be able to do it on the class. So I prefer to go deeper and use this powerful tool to really heal, someone properly on the deepest level than just go on a class and just relax for 1 hour. I don't know I'm very curious. Like you know so much about yoga. You've been doing it for 15 years. I don't know what's your take on that, Amanda. Because I know a lot of people are crazy about classes, and you go for classes yourself. But
I have a home practice, but I also go to the studio, and I go to the studio because the hot studio is what really gets me out of my head and into my body. And I find that if I practice from home, I'm not able to disassociate from everything. And like you saw, my cat does it with me. So I'm constantly distracted by her when I practice at home. I will meditate at home for sure, but my best practices are at the studio. or in a class, I've gone to like different events where we did 108 vinyasas, and there's significance in the number 108. And so I can't remember all of the specifics of the significance of it, but I've done different events where they were fundraisers, and we did 108 vinyasas. I think like 3 or 4 times I've done that. And it's so powerful to do 108 vinyasas in a giant group of people who are all like-minded, and there just for that energy and sharing the energy. And then too, I was going to add for the partner yoga stuff, one thing that my daughter absolutely loved that unfortunately we can't do right now because of COVID is she was taking aerial yoga classes. And she absolutely loved it and is with the silks. And I've tried aerial yoga a few times, and it was not as it's so fun. And even if you just wanted to try it just for the fun of it, it definitely is. And it's something that really engaged her in the mindfulness piece of it, but also we even did it as a birthday party event. So it was something where her friends had never tried it before. Like half of them had never even been to a yoga class before. But for me, she's been going to yoga since she was 3, because we would do mommy. Well, no, since she was an infant, because I did mommy and baby yoga, and then when she was big enough to do the like mom and toddler yoga, we went to mom and toddler yoga for years. Every Friday night, that was what we did. And so you can get kids involved at a very, very young age. Like I said, my daughter was 3 or 4 when she started actually participating in the class. But there's mom and baby yoga classes where, as long as they're not like running around, you can go and do yoga with your baby, which is fantastic. You can even do yoga when you're pregnant. There's even special pregnancy classes for moms, and it can help so much. I know when I had my daughter, the doctor said, because I was induced, but also she came within 30 minutes. And so because she wasn't coming, and they're like, your daughter's, it's time for her to come out and she's very overdue. And then from having an induction and then going from like 0 to like, you're having your baby in 30 minutes, they told me if I ever was to have another child that I needed to like sleep in the hospital parking lot. And I 100% think that it came so fast because of yoga, because I had been practicing yoga my entire pregnancy, and the doctors couldn't believe how quickly she had come. And especially with inductions, because they say that it can take hours and hours and hours and hours for that, and it can be a lot more stressful and painful for the child. It was very painful for me, but she came very, very quickly, and I 100% accompany it to practicing yoga my entire pregnancy.
Yeah, and I just want to add quickly, because my friend, she was I don't have a child. I have never been pregnant, but I know if I ever be, I'm definitely gonna stick to yoga, because my friend did exactly the same. She was going, instead of going to like a traditional pregnancy lessons, she went for yoga for pregnant women and breathing exercises, and exactly the same experience. She was not induced, nothing. She had the easiest birth, and it was her first child ever, and she's tiny. She's half the size of me, and she had no issues. She just gave the birth within half an hour, no pain, nothing. It was just super smooth. So it's incredibly powerful. It can help, so many people. Like I can even relating to that when it comes to, for example, like periods and stuff like this. If I didn't do that, I would be in excruciating pain every month. But this stretching, and as you mentioned before, Amanda, hip stretching, that's where people hold all the tension, because we see it all the time. We stress we just tense up our muscles over there, and it's the center of movement, the center of life is in our hips. And when we start stretching and releasing the tension from the hips, everything changes, and because that's where our obviously sexual organs are. That's where our spine as well is, the beginning of the spine. It's just everything. There's so much negative energy stored in our hips, and just even like if you do 5 minutes stretching your hips every single day, after a few days, you will realize, you will feel different. You will be able to move. There is no pain. You will feel so much more energetic, and I don't feel tiredness anymore. It's just incredible, so incredible.
Yeah, I think breathing exercises in general, they're good. So if you do that breathing exercises for pregnancy, I think that would be a good idea. That would be a really good idea.
I was going to say too, there's different, if you're into learning about the chakras at all, there's different yoga poses for each chakra too. And I wrote a book called I'm a Rainbow, a kid's guide to the chakras. And for each chakra, it shows different yoga poses for each kid, and also different mudras. So the different hand poses that can go with each chakra to help balance each one of them. And so that's part of the spiritual journey of yoga too, is that connection to your chakra system and starting to learn about the chakra system as well.
Thank you so much, ladies. We basically run out of time, and any words of encouragement, Nadia, for our audience who loves yoga? What can you give?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you love yoga or not yet. I highly recommend you to start, to give it a chance, and really understand that it's not just physical exercise. It's not just exercise like any other. If you understand the power of yoga, if you understand how important it is to be present, to breathe, and to use it as something really for you, for yourself, for your own healing, after a few days, after a very short period of time, you will start noticing a difference. So I highly recommend you to do yoga, but not treat it as a chore. Do not treat it as an exercise for flexibility and strength, but really look at it from a really like transformational and healing place. When you can really, even on your skin will change, everything will change basically. And you will not only change the way you look physically, but also you will be more relaxed and peaceful from the inside as well if you do it properly, if you use breathing techniques and mindfulness when you do it. It's incredibly powerful. So I highly recommend you to start doing yoga. I can recommend a wonderful channel. It's called Boho Beautiful. That's where I learned. That's what inspired me to do yoga, and I still follow Boho Beautiful. It's a wonderful couple that travel all over the world, and their videos, their sessions are incredible and amazing for any level. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, amazing channel, and they have hundreds of videos that you can do yourself for free on YouTube. So give it a go, guys. It's incredibly powerful stuff. It really saved my life, so it can save yours too. Thank you.
I'm going to end with, if you go to a hot class, you're not going to die. And go at least 3 times, because you'll realize that after the first time and you felt like you're going to die, the second time it'll get easier, and the third time it'll get even easier, and then you'll probably be hooked after that. And not during the class, the after effects that you recognize, but you have to be present enough to recognize that it's not the work you do in the class, it's how that work that you did in the class affects every other aspect of your life. And that's what you'll start to notice once you really start to practice yoga.
I think I've just seen that when I was doing my research, it said it's good for brain as well, which is really, really, really good. So I'm gonna do breathing exercises. I think breathing for my brain. I like that guy when he was doing it. It actually makes it harder. It's hard, but it looks very exciting and sexy. So I'm gonna do it. He's doing it. It's like breathing exercises. He's doing the shoulders and the tummy as well. You can see the tummy's muscles is squeezing everything. So I think I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna give you some feedbacks, guys, because I'm trying, because I'm running and I'm not doing weight lifts. I don't like doing weight lifts, so I'm dancing. So I'm challenging myself to do different things, exercises, and it's working because my brain is working better than it was. And sometimes I do this, so it's awesome. So I'm gonna try this, Nadia. And next time when we do it, we need to come and prepare with our clothes, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not dressed for yoga. I'm dressed for work.
Yes.
I have one more thing. If you have kids and you want to introduce them to yoga, there's so many great books out there for yoga for kids, but there's also a really good website, especially for like kindergarten to grade 3. I know it's called different things in the UK, but it's called Cosmic Kids Yoga, and she's on YouTube, and she's fantastic for getting like the littler kids involved. I teach grade 5 now, so it's a little bit too little for them, but she does some really fantastic yoga classes, and they're all free on YouTube. And
you have someone that left a comment saying, please do live yoga. So next time in India, there's someone who was requesting it. So we are here Monday to Friday in Ghosty Talk Shows. So please join us if you're watching this video today or later or after 2 years. Press some heart button and share some love with your audience, with your friends. Live with grace, everyone, and see you tomorrow.